Show. Pat O'Melia here, your concerned Tom's River resident. That's why I do the show. That's why you watch the show. Hopefully we teach you something. We educate you and inform and entertain. Got my Babe's coffee. If you need to get in touch with me, you got an issue with Tom's River, talk to Mayor Kelleher. You got an issue with the county, I can talk to Freeholder Vicari. You got it's a problem with statewide, you got a consumer issue. We are very good at those sort of things. So do not hesitate to send me an email. You see our website there. Tweet me, whatever you need to do. I am about the easiest guy in the world to get in touch with. You know, we're working on things with the studio, and by the time the show airs, the election would have already been settled. There's a lot of questions on the ballot this year. You know, we got the big Senate race between Bob Eugen and my guy, Bob Menendez. My guy, yes, I've known Bob for Menendez about 25 years from the days of the congressman, Hudson County guy. He's Union City, I'm Jersey City. Bob Eugen seems like a nice guy. I think he's got a place in politics, but I'm going to go on the limb right now. I'm going to say Bob Menendez pulls this out. But for Bob Menendez, it really is an eye-opener for him. It's an awakening. I know Bob for many, many years. Great guy, guy that brings the bacon back to New Jersey. He's the guy that's, help with health care, all the municipalities. Bob's the guy. Now, is Bob bringing back enough money? Supposedly, no. But, you get these statistics through the campaign, you really have a hard time believing them. I have no problem with Bob Menendez. He got jammed up with a friend of his who was a millionaire, and there were some jet planes that he ride that he had to pay and a few other things. But, they couldn't prove it. He was, charges were dropped. And, again, I've known Bob Menendez for a long time. Bob never took a dime that wasn't his. Now, listen, you are the rich guy. I got a friend of mine, Joe Panapinto. Joe's a very successful developer. Wealthy, just donated $10 million to the Jersey City Medical Center, I think $10 million to St. Peter's University. When Joe and I go out for dinner or lunch or we're meeting somewhere, I'm not paying. Joe Panapinto is. That's how it is. The rich guy is going to pay. Now, if your friend happens to be rich, like Joe Panapinto, saying that with Bob, he picks up the check. So I'm sure Bob has pulled it off. You have some other questions. With the Botec financing, about $500 million bond. I don't know how we're going to feel about that. We'll see how that goes. I'll review the election results when I get back. When we come back from break, I want to talk about some of the things I want to do going forward here with this studio. But we're going to break for commercial. Oh, no, I still got a minute. I'm thinking, no, I still got 1 minute to go. Jumping the gun here. There's a 4-minute open on these things. I'm thinking the Jersey City show where it's a 3-minute open. We're going to review the election results next week as everything comes out. And we'll try to figure out what happened here and, what was the win, what was the lose reasons. Another thing I want to do in this studio, we put the technology in here to broadcast live on Comcast cable and our streaming network, live stream, and, of course, Facebook and YouTube. I'm not sure yet what elections are coming up municipally in Tom's River in May. Or countywide. I'm sure there's some of the freeholders probably up. I don't know if they all go, their terms are all at the same time expiring. But we can bring the candidates in here, and we have, we've done the Jersey City ones. We've done quite a few debates in our other studio. We have that technology here. So we can go across with 4 candidates at podiums, and I intend on doing that in the next election cycle. Now I'm going to break for commercial. You watching the Tom's River Show? I'll be right back. Burns Brothers Memorials, Monuments, and Markers, 787 Tunley Avenue, Jersey City. Hudson County's only monument maker, serving all faiths and cemeteries. Design, studio, and large inventory on site. Cemetery inscriptions and custom orders welcome. Burns Brothers Memorials, Monuments, and Markers, 787 Tunley Avenue, just south of Secaucus Road. Craftsmanship that will last for all eternity. Burns Brothers, Jersey City, Albert H. Hopper, North Arlington. Visit us on the net. It takes more than a state-of-the-art medical facility to make a great hospital. It takes a team of dedicated medical professionals. That's the Jersey City Medical Center, Hudson County's #1 hospital. Medical teams consisting of New Jersey's top doctors, Magnet Award-winning nurses, and accomplished hospital associates, all committed to your good health. That's what you have at the Jersey City Medical Center. Make Hudson County's #1 hospital your first choice. Visit us on the web at barnabashealth.com. jerseycitypolice.org. We're back. Pat O'Melia, Tom's River Show. As I was saying, we had the ability to do the debates live here. We can take 4 candidates at a time. And I'm sure Mike has probably shown you some of the clips from the mayoral debates we have done. I've produced tons of debates, whether in my studio or at the Lowe's Theater. We can do that here. It's not as big as what we have in North Bergen, but we can put 4 podiums here and get somebody to moderate it. It could be me, it could be whoever. But we should do that because we can. And if we can do it, we should do it for Tom's River. The more information you get, the better off we are. I'm going to reach out for the PD this week because we're working with Jersey City's police department. We filmed some integrity training. We just went through some equipment taping where we're going to promote PD. I can't stress this as much as possible, that I want to promote the police. I'm a pro law enforcement person. Whatever I can do for the PDs, we do New Jersey at large, where we try to help capture some of these wanted criminals. I'm going to call on DPW. I want to know what projects they're doing. If they're paving a road on the west side of town, the people on the east side don't know it. I want you to know how the town is operating, how your taxes are being spent, how your tax dollar is working. I want to meet with both of the fire departments because we can help the fire departments fundraise. And also we can do PSAs. We just did one for Jersey City, smoke detector and CO detector installation. Not only Jersey City doing the inspection installation, they're giving you the smoke and CO detectors in 1 or 2 family homes. We want to do the same things here. So when we move forward here, I'm going to reach out for the PD and the FD and DPW this week. I have been communicating with Tom's River City Hall, but the only one I seem to contact with is the mayor. And he wants his subordinates involved. So we'll see how that goes. As I was saying, there are some questions on the ballot will be resolved by the time we come back. The interesting one is Tom's River is proposing doubling its open space tax. Now, the reason there was a big change on the council in Tom's River was for overdevelopment. And what you can do with open space tax is buy land. And you can buy the land, it becomes open space, and it can't be developed. And the reason those 4 council people were elected was because overdevelopment. So that makes sense to, if the issue is overdevelopment, listen, Tom's River is a minuscule, like a mini Jersey City. And I had the big Jersey City and the smaller Tom's River, but they have the same situation, overdevelopment in Jersey City. And the best way to prevent that is through zoning and open space. Problem is with open space, now, they're looking to double it, and we'll see how that goes, because people are getting a little aggravated with getting taxed and taxed and taxed. Tom's River right now has a 1.5 cent open space tax. The county has an open space tax, and Tom's River is looking to double theirs to 3 cents per 100. And it comes out to about $100 a year for the average homeowner in Tom's River. You know, $100 is a food order. You know, $100 is your cable bill. You know, there's other things you can do with that $100. And the thing is with Tom's River, and you got the county also with open space. But there's a double whammy to the open space. When you have the open space, you lose the rateables that came from that. So you're paying more for the open space tax, and you lost the rateables. So when the city is trying to balance their municipal budget, those rateables are gone because it's open space. Whatever you did with the open space, it could be left alone, parks, or what have you. They got to balance the budget. So what's left is the rateables they can charge. So there's the double whammy. You pay the open space, you lost the rateables, now you got to pick it up on the other end. All right, we're going to break for commercial. You're watching the Tom's River Show. I'll be right back.
Pen and Pencil Properties, Jersey City. Shaping the workplace with state-of-the-art office spaces that address your company desires. Building residences that define your home environment. Adjacent to all modes of transportation with on-site parking available. The right address, the right lease. Call 201-521-9000 or visit online at penandpencilproperties.com. Pen and Pencil Properties, building Jersey City for everyone. Good Friend Self Storage in North Bergen, New Jersey is a fully climate controlled facility equipped with state of the art security, packing supplies, a Refer Friend program, and multiple loading docks convenient for commercial use. Located just off of Route 3 at 4301 Tunnelly Avenue, Route 1 and 9. Call 201 867 2444 or visit us on the web today. Good Friend Self Storage. Let us be your good friend.
We're back, Pat O'Melia, Tom's River Show. You're interested in the Tom's River. That's why I watch the show. That's why I do the show. And you got all the stuff going on the bottom of the screen. You can get in touch with us. It's amazing when you're riding through Tom's River the next time. I want you to take notice of what is off the rateable basis. Of course, schools, anything the town owns, parks, churches, not-for-profits, any developments that are abated. When you're riding around town, take notice of that. Listen, you got municipally owned buildings, county, state, and fed, churches. All those are off. Not-for-profits, United Way, whoever they are, they're not paying into the municipal budget. You are. So that open space where you lose that rateable, it starts to add up on you between all what we call Class 15Cs in Jersey City, not-for-profits, religious exemptions. You got a ton of them here, but it's amazing when you ride through town and how many things are exempt. This morning I'm riding in from Jersey City, and I'm listening to 101.5, and they're talking to local candidates running in various towns in New Jersey. And it's funny how each one of the people bring up, we want to cut property taxes. Every election cycle, it's the same thing. We want to cut property taxes. But we never cut the property taxes. How is that possible? The school budgets are outrageous. We talked about that with school superintendents. There's so many of them. They're making millions and millions and millions of dollars. Do we need all that? The school taxes in Jersey City. With the new school formula, Jersey City's going to lose, I think it's about $170 million a year over the next seven years. So they're going to implement a payroll tax to try to cover that. And there's a lot of people who are upset about it. A lot of people I do business with. It could hurt. It's going to hurt job development in Jersey City. But Mayor Fulop has nowhere to go. He's got to come up with $170 million over the next 7 years. So he's going to put the payroll tax in. And the payroll tax, Newark has it, the only other town, city in Jersey that has a payroll tax. And Newark gets about $50 million a year. Jersey City will probably generate $70 to $80 million a year. But we're at 170, so there's still a problem. And now that the Jersey City school system is back in local control, which I think is a huge problem, they have the ability now to tax. So, that becomes a real problem here when they have that kind of ability to tax. So we have to be really concerned in Jersey City when a bunch of people, and they always talk about it's for the children. Now, I agree with you, the children. But in Jersey City, their budget is probably $700 million. The reason I'm bringing this up, Tom's River has a similar situation. They're joining a lawsuit to stop this formula from being enacted. But the thing is, what we need to do, and in Jersey City, nobody's making this cry. Somewhere along the line, we need to go and review the budget for our local school system in Jersey City. It's like $750 million a year. Now, they're going to put a payroll tax in, and the school board is going to have the ability to tax over the 2% cap. So this could get really scary for people in Jersey City. But not one person, with the exception of Councilman Richie Borgiano, has said, should we look at the budget of the school system in Jersey City? Is there a reason why it's more than the actual city itself? Jersey City's budget's like $600 million, and we got the school budget at like $750 or $770 million. Nobody's talking about looking at the expenses. Is there political patronage there? Are we wasting money? Do we have people who are getting paychecks and they're not showing up? And you hear about these things happening all the time. That's what has to be done. Somewhere along the line, we got to go in and look at these budgets. And we have to figure out what can we cut. Because somewhere, somehow, it comes down to you. And somebody's got to look at the property owners in Jersey City and the Tom's River and the state as a whole and say, we got to help these people before we just price everybody the hell out of New Jersey. And that's what's happening. And as with Jersey City, I guess Tom's River should look and say, listen, is there a way we can get a handle on the school budget? Why are these things spiraling out? Because basically what we're going to do, we're going to throw more money at this situation. You know, Jersey City, I think the price is like almost $20,000 a student to educate them for the year. That's an incredible amount of money. And then you figure our classes have 30 kids in there. That's a lot of money. And then you got to look at the pensions and all the benefits that come into play. And with all the new revenue coming in to New Jersey through Governor Murphy, of course, you got the sports betting, big money there. You got the weed tax that's going to come in probably sometime next year now. You got the tax on e-cigarettes and B&B and Uber and Lyft. Now, $1, and of all those new revenues coming in are earmarked for property tax relief. Think about that. Now, $1 is earmarked for property tax relief. And as I'm saying, as I open this, every candidate on 101.5 or every candidate you talk about, I got to do something about property taxes. The property taxes are much too high in New Jersey. Well, no, crap. We all know that. We keep sending people down there to Trenton, and the property taxes continue to go up. And how do you do something about it? Well, you got to get new revenue streams in here to stop having mom and pop shoulder everything here. And I know people look at business, well, let's hit business more. Well, you race business out of here then. And then that becomes a bigger problem. I've done shows on this with the shared services. Shared services is an answer. Consolidation of towns, boroughs, cities, maybe consolidating cities are too big, but boroughs and towns, consolidate them. Somehow we need to reduce the cost of the state. Schools are a huge part of it. Like I said, I forget what was the amount that we had with the superintendent salaries? It was obscene. Maybe we go to a county-based school system. All right, you're watching the Tom's River Show. We're going to break for commercial. We'll be right back.
The Jersey City Medical Center. You know it for its award-winning life-saving ambulance service. It's also your health hub, with health and wellness locations staffed with certified professionals all through Hudson County. The Jersey City Medical Center, here to help you with your healthy, here when you need us the most. The Jersey City Medical Center. Visit us on the net to learn more. Jersey City Medical Center, Robert Wood Johnson, Barnabas Health Facility. Let's be healthy together.
Rama Jewelers, located in the Lyndhurst Shopping Center at 413 Valley Brook Avenue, Lyndhurst. Come for all your jeweler needs at Rama Jewelers, where you will find a fine selection of necklaces, earrings, rings, and bracelets. Choose from one of our complete sets, our many signature items, or find the perfect engagement ring. Come on down. That's Rama Jewelers at 413 Valley Brook Ave, Lyndhurst. Call 201-939-5784 or visit us online today.
Newport, the luxury waterfront community on the Hudson River, offers the quality of life you deserve in 10 high-rise rental towers with amenities such as the on-site Newport Path subway, light rail and ferry service, Newport Town Square, 3 playgrounds, dog run, upscale restaurants, retail giants like Sears, JCPenney, Macy's, and Target. Morton Williams Supermarket is just outside your front door. A health and fitness club, spa, skating rink, and medical facilities are also on site. NewportNJ.com. Enjoy the New York skyline from Newport Town Square. Manhattan is just one path stop away or quick ride through the Holland Tunnel. Nursery and private elementary schools all on site. 12-screen movie theater at the Newport Center Mall. Want to visit Newport? Stay at the Westin or Marriott Hotel. Go to NewportNJ.com for details. Newport has luxurious towers, great restaurants, shopping, New York skyline views, schools, playgrounds, a marina and yacht club, gym, spa, fine wine, fine living. It's incredible. It's you. NewportNJ.com. Newport. Live like you want.
We're back. You're watching the Tom's River Show. Pat O'Melia here. Again, if you need to get in touch with me. You know, when you're looking at trying to control your town and your city, zoning is really the answer, how you control development in your town. And there are people going to challenge that. And it happens, in Jersey City all the time. It happens all over. They want a variance, you don't get a variance. Oh, I'm being discriminated against. I know Tom's River is looking at their religious exemptions. I mentioned before, in Jersey City, I think it's all Class 15C. It's like 900 properties on the list that are tax exempt, and they grow. Every not-for-profit that pops up. The thing is, this isn't 1900 anymore, where church was exempt. And I don't have a problem with a church being exempt when the property taxes were, minuscule amounts back in those days. Well, maybe not, because everything's relative. It was a small property tax, but you were making 30 cents an hour. But the thing is, I don't have a problem exempting a church or a synagogue or a mosque, but I have a problem when it gets off that property. We in Jersey City, again, I spoke to the mayor about this, we have religious institutions that own quite a bit of property outside of the church in other parts of the city. People leave their homes to the church. And the church owns it, and for some reason on Ocean Avenue, this church that's based on Kennedy Boulevard, they're tax exempt. There's a problem with that. When one of the Catholic churches closed their school, it was just sitting there empty. Jersey City put it back on the tax roll. Ooh. They got all upset about that. They went to the city council, and they spoke about, oh, please, we're going to put the exemption, religious exemption. It was just sitting empty, this big school. And their argument was, well, we have an AA meeting once a month. And I spoke to the council saying, listen, you guys got to get a handle. They're not using this property. The church, I can see that this is vacant property. It's got to go on a tax roll. They were put back on the tax exempt because of the AA meeting. I know Tom's River is looking at their zoning into that situation, about the exemptions. People are opening areas of worship. I won't even say houses of worship because they're doing it like near basements now, and they're tax exempting. When there's tax exemption, like with the open space one I talked about, you're paying the open space tax, and we get the open space property, that goes off the ratables, somebody's got to pay it. So every time there's some discount or not-for-profit's not paying, the municipal government doesn't change its expense. They just have to tax a smaller base of people to cover that, and you're that smaller base of people. Even with open space, eventually you may want, Seaside Heights did this. They wanted to develop the pier after Sandy. And they eventually did, and they sold beachfront property for a parking lot and a carousel, and then that was open space property, the beach, so they had to get 3 times that somewhere else in Tom's River, and there's some wetlands, and that was approved. Every piece of open space, if you want to eventually build on it, it's a 3-to-1. You got to find 3 pieces somewhere else. That's why it's getting very difficult to manage municipalities and budgets now because it is so expensive. Everything is expensive. And the first place everybody goes to balance that municipally and statewide is you, the mom and pop, the homeowner. And that has to stop. We have to figure out other ways to ease the burden on you, the homeowners. And exemptions and open space, all these things have to be looked at. Social media, we were talking about this last week. You have to be careful what you say on social media. And with the tragic events in Pittsburgh at the synagogue, there was an article, I think it was in the Post, on how Israel handles social media. They monitor social media, Twitter, Snapchat, Facebook, and they're looking for red flags. Somebody who says, I want to shoot this guy, or I hate Jews, or whatever the case is. They're monitoring. I hate Israel, whatever the case is. They monitor it. And they look at the level, and they say, we should probably look at this. Then they'll start looking at that individual, and if it's really, a big red flag, they'll start talking to family. And that has worked in Israel. For that matter, between 2015 and 2017, 60% of the lone wolf attacks, like this guy in the synagogue, were announced on social media in some shape or form. They signaled they were going to do this. So Israel started looking into the social media, and it's really incredible on what it transpired from there. They drastically reduced it. But they're looking for statements actions, affiliation, who you're following. Are you following a group that we have an issue with, or somebody who we know is a known terrorist, or harbors ill feelings and harbors violence towards, in this case, Jews or Israel? They're watching that. And since they've been doing that, they have drastically reduced the threat and the actions of lone wolves. For that matter, I think they've arrested over 200 people through monitoring the social media that have confessed to wanting to plan or planning an attack on Israel, the Jewish community, a synagogue, whatever the case is. So I'm sure, now we have all these rights and freedom of speech, but we need to protect the people. And it's almost becoming a police state. You know, we're talking about armed guards in schools. Part of that $500 million school bonding that's being voted upon includes security. We're talking about putting armed retired cops in schools. You know, think about when you went to school. Nobody was armed there. In New York, there are two councilmen from Brooklyn who are talking about investigating individual social media postings if they want a gun permit. As we were saying last week or the week before, be careful what you put on social media, because it can come back to bite you on the butt. You know, the Kavanaugh guy, stuff he did 35 years ago, whether true or not, came back. But this guy was one of those guys that wrote a diary all the time, so we had documentation. We had a guy that was chief of staff in Jersey City. He lost his position for some rantings when he was 19 years old. And in our age, everything's recorded. If it goes on the internet, it's there forever. You have to be careful, because I'm telling you, social media is going to play a role in every part of your life. And what you say, you've seen baseball pitchers who, you know, posted some stupid stuff when they were 14, 15 years old on Twitter. You know, they make it to the major, they're 21 years old, they throw a good game. Everybody starts Googling and researching. Whoa, wait a minute. He had some gay slurs, or there was some, you know, love of guns, whatever the case is. And these guys have to come out and start apologizing for what they said when they're 14. So you have to be careful with your social media. You got to be careful, because I'll tell you what, it's going to have to do with your jobs in the future, and probably the very near future. They're going to look at your social media posting. Credit. Everything, you want to get a contract for something. Schools, you know, you want to get a scholarship, and they'll look at you, oh, you tweeted this when you were 11. What was on your mind when you were saying? You or your children, you have to be careful. Hopefully, none of us are harboring any emotional situation where we want to commit crimes or violence against someone. But no matter how silly and stupid it sounds now, that can come back as a serious situation in your adult life. So be careful, and tell your kids, be careful what you put on social media, because it's going to stay with you forever. All right, we're at a show. You're watching the Tom River Show. I'm Pat O'Melia. You be good. You be safe. You need to get in touch with me. You've seen it all on the screen. Don't forget, you can get us on the Hudson Media or on live stream and HMG TV shows. You be good. I'll talk to you later. Bye.